Hello, everybody. How are you this beautiful day? It is the fifth day in July. I shared this morning in the Praying CEO that today would have been my mother's 93rd birthday. She was born on July 5th in 1930, and today she would have been 93 years old, and I miss her dearly. Oh man, she was the woman that I would call that, whenever anything was going crazy, whenever anything was going great. I mean, it didn't matter. I called her all the time because she knew my heart. Because she birthed me and she knew me, and I could call and share with her anything and know that she would be praying for me, that she'd be interceding on my behalf. And I miss her so much. She was my confidant. I could share with her anything, and she would give me such wisdom from the Word of God. She was a prayer warrior, and she interceded on all of her children's behalf and beyond. Though she didn't birth, she prayed for them, and she would send out. She was one of those women who would go to the store and buy cards, and she would send out cards and send out notes to different ones as the Lord laid it on her heart. She would just send an encouraging word and a scripture because that was her heart. And so I acknowledge my mom today. I love her so much. And like I said, I miss her. Today, we are talking about healing pain. Yesterday, we talked about embracing rejection. The day before that, we talked about conquering fear. The day before that, we talked about defining your true enemy. And on day number one, we talked about the battle. Who are we battling with? So, today, as we're talking about healing pain, there are things that we experience while we are going through in our business that can be painful. There are things that we across in our business that can cause us to feel like, man, did I miss the mark? Was I doing everything I was supposed to do? Am I in the right place? And it could be something that's very emotional, that it is a wound that affects you. Pain of lost business, pain of if you were in business with someone else and you came to a parting of ways, that can be painful because maybe it's not something that you intended to do. Maybe it's not something I didn't want to not be in business with them, but they decided they wanted to do something else, or they moved, or something happened where you're no longer in business with them, but it can still be painful. So, what I want you to begin thinking about when it comes to your business and dealing with things that are painful, I want you to think about a past pain or an emotional wound that still affects you. What's something that happened some time ago that still grates on you, that when you walk into a certain grocery store, or you're in a conversation and something comes up, or you go to a particular place where that meeting took place, where there was not a meeting of the minds, something, you get some kind of trigger or a certain smell that triggers you. Identify a past pain or emotional wound that still affects you. And what I want you to begin to think about doing about that, I want you to think about engaging, and this is what I talk about as your caregiver's co-mentor, that when you're dealing with pain, that you've got to practice something called intentional self-care. And whatever that is for you, you need to do that because you need to be healed from that pain. I want you to think about when you scrape your knee, scrape your hand, or something like that. And what do? They put they'll put kind of ointment or cream or salve on it, and then they'll cover it up, and they'll say they need for you to cover it up for a certain period of time. And then they say, afterwards, after this certain period of time, you open it up and you let it air and let it breathe and begin to heal. But sometimes we want to keep that thing covered up forever and a day. That's about us isolating. That's about us not sharing what that thing is. And sometimes in keeping that thing covered and it doesn't get any air, it doesn't get to breathe, it may become infected. So you've got to be able to go to a place to engage in self-care activity, or seek some support from your loved ones, or consider even, and I have no problem with this because I've done it myself, consider seeing a professional. Therapy is not a sin. Therapy is not a sin. In order for you to facilitate healing and to foster resilience, there may be some times that you have to seek some help. I remember my husband said this to me when he had come home from the hospital, and I was trying to take care of everything. I was trying to do it all. I was trying to make sure that the appointments were coming to us at the time. So make sure that everything was set for the appointments to come to us, making sure the house was clean top to bottom. Now we have a pretty decent sized house, and keeping the whole house together, that was a challenge, while making sure that he was taken care of, making sure all the meals were prepared, making sure that everything got done. Because see, you got to remember, before the stroke, there were certain things that he did that I didn't do. I didn't even think about doing. But now it was like a combination of doing what I would do and then doing the things that he would do. So it was changes that I needed to make. And I had to recognize I need help. He sat me down and he said those 3 words: ask for help. Because we cannot do it all on our own. We're not here. We're not, the only thing that we can do alone is be born and die. We come into this world by ourselves and we leave this world by ourselves. But we need other people. We need a community. We need a village. And to walk through the process of being healed from a pain, from something that wounded you, yes, we need help. And we need others that are going to walk with us. We need others that are going to be there as we're going through and coming to grips with who we are becoming. And so I want to encourage you today to seek assistance. Seek assistance. So today, here's some questions I want you to be taking a look at. I'm going to put these questions here in the chat. And put them over here so that you all can see them. Because I want you to really think about what it is that you're experiencing. And I want you to address them, reflect upon them, and then do something. I don't want you to remain stagnant. I don't want you to be stagnant, but I want you to be free. And how do you get free when it comes to healing your pain? Here's some questions that I'd like for you to consider and reflect on when it comes to your healing. I want you to reflect on a significant past pain or emotional wound that still lingers. How has it affected your life, your decisions, or your relationships? Let me say that question again. Let me pull that up. I want to say it one more time. Uno más. Reflect on a significant past pain or emotional wound that still lingers. How has it affected your life, your decisions, or your relationships? How has it affected it? That's the first question. What you think about that? And now I'd like for you to think about this question. What self-care activities or support systems can you engage with to promote healing and resilience in the face of pain? Just want you to think about it. What is it? What kind of self-care activities can you become a part of? Can you insert yourself in that can help bring you healing and resilience? That's important, to bring healing, to bring resilience to where you are. Healing is so vitally important. Now let me check on and make sure that I've put everything in the chat so that, let me make sure that I put everything in the chat so you can see them. Yep. All right. There we go. There we go. Just a moment, honey. Just 1 minute and I'll be finished. I think 1 minute, because I said I'm not going more than 15. I'm at 13. So again, reflect on a significant past pain or emotional wound that still lingers. How has it affected your life, your decisions, or your relationships? What self-care activities or support systems can you engage with to promote healing and resilience in the face of pain? When we're in the process of healing, it is imperative that we take time to reflect upon the things that we've dealt with that have been hurtful. It's no more sweeping it under the rug. No more, if I close my eyes, it doesn't exist. No, it exists. Check it out and then move along. Right there. Stand up and go to your right. One thing I am learning, that this man is growing. He is healing. And in the process of healing, I've noticed that there's some things that have been changing. There's some things that are changing in him. And I get to be a part of those things that are changing, those things that are there are those neurons, and there are those things that are opening up. Oh my goodness. One of these days I'll share with you one thing that happened recently that was like, oh my goodness, a real eye opener. But I don't have time because it's already at 15, and I promised that I would not keep you longer than that. But do me a favor, check out those questions. Listen to your body. It is okay to ask for help. It is okay. It is okay to seek out professional help. If there's something that goes wrong with our car, we go get it checked out. Something goes wrong with our teeth, we get them checked out. Why not if something goes wrong in our brain, which is a part of our body, that we wouldn't want to get it checked out? All right, ladies, my time is up. Love y'all so much. I will be back tomorrow, and I'm trying to get to come between 3 and 4. I'm trying to make that my business to come between 3 and 4. I'm a little bit beyond 4 o'clock, but I want to be able to come around this time for the remainder of these days. So answer those questions. As I said, I'm checking to seeing the engagement in the chat. And I would love to hear what your thoughts are, especially about this one. Yesterday's and today's are really critical. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. And with that, I will see you again tomorrow, right here in the room. Blessings.